Welcome to yoga practice. My name is Christy. Start with your hands on your knees and start moving your head up and down, feeling the stretch in your neck. Start to round your neck in one position, feeling that stretch in your neck, loosening up. Now switch sides, rolling your neck, going back, rounding to the front and to the side. Now take one hand, place it on the crown of your head, pulling it to one side very gently, feeling that stretch in the side of your neck. Make sure to be very gentle with this. Switch sides, hand on the top of your head, gently pulling to the side. Holding, releasing. Now feet together, coming into a butterfly pose, pushing down with your elbows onto your thighs. Releasing, sitting up straight and tall, and pushing back down. Feeling that stretch into your thighs and into your hips. Holding for a few breaths and releasing. Keep going. Pushing down. And releasing. Now moving your leg over your knee, hugging your knee into your chest, kickstanding your hand back, sitting up straight and tall, and doing a twist, looking up towards the ceiling. Breathing in, breathing out, connecting with your breath, deepening that stretch. Alright, releasing. Taking your knee, stacking it on top of your other knee, getting situated. Taking your hand, placing it on the bony prominence in the back of your neck. Taking your other hand, taking it to your back to reach the other hand. If it doesn't quite make it there, you can also utilize a strap. Sitting up nice and tall in cow face pose. Remembering to breathe, lifting your chin, releasing, taking your hands and crawling forward, deepening that stretch. You can also use some bricks if your hands can't make it to the floor, and holding it there. Feeling that stretch into your hips, getting a good stretch. Connecting with your breath. Releasing that pose. Unwinding your legs slowly and switching sides. Other leg goes over the other knee. Hugging that knee into your chest. Sitting up straight and tall, kickstanding your hand back, and going into that twist, looking up into the corner of the room. Remembering to connect with that breath, sitting up straight and tall. Releasing that pose. Now stacking the knees, one on top of the other. Hand comes up again, reaching back into the bony prominence in the base of your neck and taking the other hand back and reaching towards the other hand, connecting. Sitting up straight and tall into a cow face pose. Keeping that chin lifted. Releasing your hands, crawling them forward like you did before, utilizing some blocks if you can't quite reach the floor. Feeling that stretch again into your hips and inner thighs. Okay, unwinding your legs very gently. Now making your way into fire log pose, foot on top of knee, knee on top of foot. And holding that position, sitting up straight and tall, placing your hands just down on your knees, and feeling that stretch. Again, we're trying to feel that stretch into the outer thighs and into the hips. Remembering to breathe. Go ahead and switch sides. Foot on top of knee, knee on top of foot. Fire log pose. Connecting with your breath, always remembering to breathe. Go ahead and release the legs. Coming down into a tabletop pose. Shoulders are aligned with your wrists, knees with your hips, and going into a cat and cow pose. Rounding the back into a cat, arching the back into a cow. Breathing in for cow, releasing the breath for cat. Going at your own pace, doing the cat and the cow pose. Arching the back, head looks up for cow, cat rounds the back and releases the breath. Now meeting me into a balancing pose. Right arm is in front, left is extending to the back of your mat, toes are pointed down. Reaching, trying to keep a flat back. Switching sides. reaching towards the front, extending towards the back of your mat. Keeping that balance. Keep going. Switching off legs and arm. Good. Tucking the toes, coming into a downward facing dog. Remember that the hands are spread out, putting most of your weight on your index finger and thumb. Sit bones are up towards the ceiling. Look up, hop or step to the front of your mat, coming up, arms reach up, and palms come together, swan diving down. Halfway lift, looking forward, and then come back down, Uttanasana. Make your way into plank pose, chaturanga, all the way down, up cobra. Looking up, relaxing the shoulders, tucking the toes once again into a downward facing dog. We're going to do a few of these. Look up, hop or step to the front of the mat, arms come up, palms together, swan diving down, touching the mat, halfway lift, hands come back down to the mat, making our way into another plank pose, chaturanga. Looking up into a cobra, tucking the toes, back up into a downward facing dog. Continue this sequence at your own pace. These are sun salutations. Very good warm-up. Engaging that core with each plank, relaxing those shoulders into a cobra. Tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs, knees, pushing down into that mat with your heels. Step up, coming up, and back down. Halfway lift. Good. Now coming back into a tabletop position, sitting down into a child's pose. Holding that pose for a few breaths. Toes touch, knees are as wide as the mat. Look up, start to make your way up, knees together, into tabletop pose. Right leg comes up between your hands, arms slowly come up, low lunge. Resting into that pose, feeling that stretch into your thighs. Holding it there, again relaxing those shoulders. Don't let them come up by your ears. Make sure the knee doesn't go past the ankle. Look down to your toes, and then scoot that leg to the left side of your mat. Hands come down. We're making our way into a lizard pose. Feeling that stretch into your inner thighs, and then slowly making your way down onto your elbows. If by chance your elbows can't quite make it down, you can stay lifted, or you can use some bricks or blocks, whatever you'd like to call them. Feeling that stretch. Connecting with your breath, breathing in and breathing out. Good. Hold it there for a few more moments. Coming up, moving the blocks to the side, switching sides. Left leg will come back into another low lunge. Knee is over ankle, not knee past ankle. Arms are up, feeling that stretch again into the inner thighs. Good. Hold it there for a few breaths. Relax your shoulders, engaging those thighs. Look down at your foot, scoot it to the other side of your mat. Arms come down into another lizard pose. Holding it there. You can stay here. Going deeper into the pose. We'll be bringing your elbows down to the mat. Again, you can use some blocks, or you can just bring your elbows down if you're able to. Keeping that left knee in. Don't let it flow out to the side of you. Keeping it hugged in. Relaxing into the pose and breathing. Good. Very nice. Slowly making your way up, knees together. Coming into a pigeon pose. Bringing that leg parallel to the front of your mat, making sure those hips are even, not sitting in one side or the other. You can also use a block, scooting it in, helping you keep your hips even. Probably best to put it on the other side. There we go. You can keep it there, or you can just stay there. Feeling that stretch again into the hips and inner thighs. Remembering your breath. Slowly making your way down onto your elbows. If this is too much, you can stay lifted, but you can also come down a little bit further. Whatever your comfort is. It's all about the sensation of the pose, not necessarily the aesthetics of it. Making your way back up, bringing that knee next to the other knee, switching sides. Left comes up into that pigeon pose and stretching it back. Trying to keep it as parallel with the mat as possible. It can be hard, just as long as you're feeling no pain. remembering your breathing, keeping the hips aligned, not going from one side or the other, just keeping it even. Now making your way down to your elbows. Again, you can utilize a block if you can't quite make it to the floor by yourself. It's what the block is there for. Utilize your props. Relaxing for a few more moments into that pose. Good. Look up, bringing yourself back up, knees together, toes tuck under, downward facing dog, hip bones are up towards the ceiling. Pedal it out. Keeping those arms straight. Holding it there. Bringing the right leg up into three-legged dog. Looking up. Foot in between the hands. Bringing it up into a high lunge. Both feet are pointed to the front of your mat. Adjusting yourself as needed. Engaging those thighs and your core, keeping those shoulders relaxed, feeling that stretch in your calves and into the thighs. Good. Looking over, making your way into Warrior 2, back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Arms are in a T position. Looking forward, out from the tips of your fingers. And sitting up nice and tall. Connect again with that breath. Knee should be in a line with that ankle once again. Going into Peaceful Warrior, arching your back, doing a back bend, a little one. Holding it there. Go ahead and straighten that front leg, moving forward, coming into a triangle pose. Arm is lifted. Looking up towards the ceiling. And again, you can use a block if your hand can't make it to the floor. Go ahead and release that pose, coming in to a side angle. Nice stretch, feeling that in your intercostal muscles. Holding for a few moments, a few breaths, then releasing and coming in to a half moon pose, getting ready, scooting that back leg up, using a block, or you can just use the floor, bringing that leg up, arm comes up with it, stabilizing through that right leg as best you can, and balancing. Keeping those hips squared to the front, holding it for just a few moments, and then slowly releasing. Good. Going back into a side angle. Arm comes back to a downward facing dog. Pedaling it out. Left leg comes back up, three-legged dog. Foot comes up in between the hands, coming back up into a high lunge once again. Feet are pointed forward towards the top of your mat. Then going into a warrior two, back foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Arms are in a T shape, looking out towards your front hand. Good. Keeping that core engaged. Just checking your position, making yourself aware. Peaceful warrior, bringing that arm back, slight back bend. Back hand can just rest on that thigh, holding that pose. I'm releasing, straightening that front leg, and coming into triangle pose. Again, you can use a block if your hand can't make it to the mat. Coming back up, going to that side stretch. Feeling that stretch, deepening it. Go ahead and release that. We're going into another half moon pose. Bringing that back leg a little bit closer, bending that knee. Stabilizing through the leg, grounding. Bringing the leg up. Holding position. Engaging that core. Holding it there for a few moments. With control, bringing it back down. Good. And coming back into that side stretch. Arms, hands come back down to the mat, back into a downward facing dog. Fantastic. Sit bones are up to the ceiling. Look up. Hop or step to the front of your mat. Arms come up. Head comes up. Palms together. Hands to heart center. Good. Hands come out to the side. Getting ready for a balancing pose. Grounding one leg into the mat. Bringing the other up. Taking your hand, grabbing your ankle, placing it to the side of your thigh, or you can possibly bring it down to your calf, or if you need to, you can ground it down as well. You have a few options to do up, or cactus arms, or hands to prayer, whatever helps your balance. Keeping your chin lifted, looking for a still spot in front of you. Good. Engage that core, square those hips to the front. Stabilizing in all four corners of the foot. Very good. Keeping that breath alive. Now slowly release with control, bringing that leg back down. Good. Shaking it out. Next side, leg comes up. Grab your hand to your ankle, bringing it to the side of your thigh, the inner thigh. Just adjust yourself as needed. Again, prayer hands, or you can bring them up, making yourself look like a flowing tree or cactus arms. whatever arms you want to do. Modification is bringing the hand down to your calf, just to the side of it, or all the way down. Just look at something still, holding that balance, and remembering your breath. Keeping that chest open. Good. Slowly, with control, releasing that leg, bringing it back down. Fantastic. Shake it out. All right, making our way into the heels. Utkatasana, chair pose. Sitting up as tall as you can, arms are strong. Grounding into those heels. Coming back up. And going back into the chair pose. Come back up. And back down. Now bring your hands together, hooking that right elbow to that left knee, doing a twist while in chair pose. Nice little variation. Making sure to breathe, coming back up, and switching sides. Hooking that elbow to the side, doing a twist, keeping that chest open, and keeping that into your heels. Beautiful. Release. Breathe in, breathe out. Hands to heart center, hands together, doing a half moon or regular moon. Pushing those hips out to the side. Switch sides. Pushing those hips out to one side, just stretching it out. And release. Fantastic. Hands come back down to the mat. Halfway lift. Touching your elbows, rocking yourself side to side. Hands come back to the mat. Bringing it back down to the mat. Bringing your arms slowly up. And making your way all the way down to the mat, slowly coming down. Good. Knees come up. One knee. Then the other, bringing them in, hugging them into your chest. Left knee, left ankle comes over the right knee, feeling that stretch, slowly reaching to the back of your thigh and squeezing it into your chest. You can keep it there or lift your leg up, pulling in. Remembering that breath, trying to keep your shoulders onto the mat. Switching sides. Right ankle comes up onto the knee, pulling in, feeling that stretch. Leg can come up or it can stay down. Fantastic. release. Bringing the feet back onto the mat. Coming into a happy baby. Knees coming into the armpits. You can either grab your toes or grab the outsides of your feet. And rocking it back and forth. Massaging that spine. Holding it there. Tucking your chin. Now bringing your feet together, coming into a reclined butterfly pose. Again, feeling that stretch into those hips and the thighs. And just windshield wipering it out, whatever pose you feel that you need at this point. Now bring the feet closer to the hands. We're going to do a few bridge, tucking that chin, lifting that pelvis. And release, breathing out. Breathing in, lifting up. And release. Good. Relaxing those legs. Laying back, preparing for Shavasana, corpse pose. Go limp. Good job. You made it to this point. You can stay in Shavasana as long as you need. Just remembering that breath, checking in with yourself, knowing that you've earned this relaxation time. Breathing in the positive, releasing the negative. Again, you can stay in there longer, but for the length time of the video, I'm going to come into a fetal position and finish it up. Going back into a sitting pose. Breathing in, arms lift, breathing out. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and release, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and release, 2, 3, 4. Once again, breathing in, and hands come to heart center. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.